1 and part 2, we've got to decide if Reese is right or wrong, and you must give a reason why. So for part 1, you've got to say that 3/4 of the cyclists, or 80 cyclists, took more than 30 minutes to complete the race. And you've got to say, is Reese correct? And then you've got to give your reason why. So you either write correct or incorrect in here and then give your reason why afterwards, and that will be worth 2 marks. Then on the second part, we've got the longest time any of the 80 cyclists took will be 50 minutes. And again, you've got to say whether he's correct or incorrect and give your reason why. The first part is worth 2 marks. The second one is worth 1 mark, and you must give your reasons as well as being correct here. The key facts are that for 1 reason, you get 1 mark. So if it's worth 2 marks, you need to give 2 reasons. Here, you need to give 1 reason because it is only worth 1 mark. Press pause, have a go at answering the question, and then press play when you're ready to hear the answer. Well done, guys. So in part 1, we're looking at 3/4 of 80. So we want to know 3/4 of 80 took more than 30 minutes. So to find 1/4 of 80, you're going to divide by 4, and then to find 3/4, we're going to times it by 3. You are allowed a calculator on this paper, but you can do this without a calculator. So 80 divided by 4, halve 80 and halve it again, so you get 40, 20. Then multiply that number by 3, gives you 60. So 3/4 of 80 is 60, and you get 1 mark for stating 60. Now this is on our cumulative frequency curve, so we need to look for 60 on our cumulative frequency curve to see how many cyclists there were. So we draw a line across at 60, then we draw a line down, and we can see here we're at 38 minutes. Now because we're at 38 minutes, it says 3/4 of the 80 cyclists took more than 30 minutes. So 38 is more than the 30 minutes given in the question. So that means that Reese is correct for your second mark. So you need to give a reason, and you need to say whether he's correct or incorrect to get the 2 marks on this question. The next part, we're looking at the longest time. So the longest time, you can see here I've plotted at 50 and 80. So it looks like it is the longest value at 50, but this is taken from a cumulative frequency table where you're given values between 45 and 50. So because the last interval was between 45 and 50, we don't know exact values. So because we don't know exact values, we can't say that the race must have been 50 minutes. So it is an unknown value. It could have been anywhere between 45 and 50. It may be 50, but we cannot guarantee that. So that means Reese is wrong, and that is for 1 mark. So make sure that you're looking back at previous parts of the question, looking at the table, because the table showed you you're between 45 and 50, and we plot at the top end of that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that their maximum value is 50. If you got this correct, give yourself a tick and show where the marks are awarded. So clearly mark where your answers are correct. Well done, guys. The mark scheme on this question shows where the 2 marks are awarded for, and the last one shows where the mark is awarded for here. It does say see appendix on the first part. So the appendix is right at the back of the mark scheme. So after all the normal answers for the mark scheme, as you can see here, later on you get something called your appendix. So make sure you've got written down that you've got the 60. You need to make sure whether you're saying it's right, true, or you're saying yes. So as long as you've given an answer, or this one here, wrong, incorrect, false, any of those are correct. You must be separate from the fraction, so you must give a reason as well as the fraction, or the working out the fraction to give you 60. You must give a comment as well to get the 2 marks. For mark scheme here, this is the appendix. So you can see these are the number of marks. So you've got 1 mark, 1 mark if you gave these 2 reasons here on the left-hand side. Later on, you can see there's 1 mark and no marks, 1 mark, no marks, or the other way around, 0 marks and 1 marks. So here, if you literally just got 60, you would get 1 mark. You can read through all these different valued reasons here, which ones will give you the marks and which ones won't. And you can see here they've been clearly labelled in your appendix. So make sure you know where the appendix is on the mark scheme and you know how to use it and have a look at it. If you found this video useful, please share, like and subscribe so we can all get great at maths.